You may recognize this face. He's Olympic wrestler Townsend Saunders. And this is his wife, Trisha. Mrs. Saunders holds the titles of world champion and 4-time U.S. national champ, which just lends credence to her passion for the sport.
I think wrestling is a great sport. It teaches you a lot about discipline and knowing yourself and really pulling the best things out of yourself you possibly can. But you really have to want to do it. Wrestling's too hard, and it's too tough, and it's too defeating, because learning wrestling's a hard thing. Because you aren't doing it right, you're landing on your head.
And she knows of what she speaks. Trisha is a third-generation wrestler whose grandfather and brothers were also experienced in the sport. But in the heat of a match, does a competent champion rely upon her own knowledge, or does she heed the advice of her husband?
I'd like to think so. She has a different style than I do, but I like to try to show her things. Sometimes she picks them, sometimes she, does her own thing.
Regardless of where her pointers come from, it usually results in winning. Trisha captured the national title for her weight class and earned the right to represent the U.S. at the World Championships this August. Wrestling is an individual sport, but in the Saunders household, they face the challenges of competition together. Now back to Las Vegas to get an update on the other half of this wrestling family.
Thanks, Nicole. And if you're wondering how Townsend Saunders finished in the tournament, he placed 5th at 149.5. Not Townsend's desired finish, but he's a fighter, and there's lots of opportunity ahead for him. Coming up now at 149.5 pounds, this man, Matt Damare, will try to defend his title. He won it last year as a college senior. He's out of Madison, Wisconsin. He majored in industrial engineering. He's now a grad assistant at the University of Wisconsin. And he's going against Joe Pantaleo here in the blue singlet. Out of the University of Michigan, now an assistant coach at Michigan State University.
Joe's a relative newcomer to this weight class. He's been up at 163, and just saw with Kenny Mundy there and Dave Schultz there, Rob Cole there. He just didn't see much of a future for him, so he made the cut, went in a real good diet. He's looked real good this tournament.
Well, the ultimate sacrifice for a wrestler, because he was very successful at heavier weight classes, but recognizing that takes tremendous discipline. You got to respect him for it. Matt Damare hitting that nice shoulder throw, Jim.
That was a beautiful arm throw. Damare, again, you see why he was champion last year coming out of college. Back in, right in on another shot.
Damare, a 2-time NC2A champion, 1991 and 92. Originally out of Minnesota. Went to high school there at Apple Valley.
Damare's a real good athlete. He's got good length for this weight class. It reminds me a little bit of what Dan Gable used to look like. Kind of tall, kind of lean, but still strong and quick. Keeps good position. Again, nice single leg there. If he gets his head up, he's going to be in good shape.
Pantaleo, a great counter wrestler, but perhaps too much offense here from Matt Damare. Trying to split the middle, but no score at this point. 3-0 lead on that nice first move by Matt Damare. 4 minutes to go in this 5-minute bout. And they stop the action, calling it a stalemate, bring them back up to their feet.
I've seen that position a lot this tournament, where the guys are going down there low for that ankle, which John Smith made famous at 136. But I think some of the guys are getting a little bit better adapted, putting their hips back and putting the weight on top of the head and not allowing the offensive man to come up. There's a nice single leg by Joe Pantaleo, too. He's in on the leg. He'll try and drive across to the other leg if he can. Damare staying tough, fighting the wizard, trying to negate that leg.
Well, both of these wrestlers, tremendous counter wrestlers, and I think perhaps counter wrestling more important internationally than any other style of wrestling.
Well, it really is. They put a premium on it, because you can't just back off from a technique. If somebody attacks you, you're supposed to counter them, make it, neutralize it, and then you're supposed to try. So it's supposed to be counter attacks, not just strictly avoiding the attack.
And back up on their feet with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. The lead by Damare.
Pantaleo is going to have to shoot that single leg more and more.
Well, we tend to see this a lot in international wrestling, Jim, where someone will score very quickly and then kind of goes into the pause mode. And we're seeing Damare kind of protect that lead and look around, and the officials calling him for a caution, putting him down. He's a pretty good counter wrestler down here, but Pantaleo is capable of mustering a great offense in this parterre position.
He's got a good gut wrench. He won a couple of his matches earlier with this hold, and this is what he's trying for right now. He's going to switch to the leg, try and switch off, and then go back to the gut wrench. He locks around the waist, try and squeeze the ribs, and he's going to get him up and try and roll him through.
Well, Joe Pantaleo in the blue singlet here on top, unable to muster an offense, brings it back up to the feet. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Readjusting the headgear. We'll get back to action. Right away, back in on a single leg. Almost went right from that headgear adjustment right into the leg attack. Made it flow together.
It was a nice attack, but Pantaleo reacted well and kicked out of it.
Pantaleo upset the top seed and Olympian Townsend Saunders in the semifinals. No score there. Slip throw. Back in on that single leg. He just doesn't let up on this.
He's real aggressive. I think he's getting a lot of confidence. The more he's been out of school, concentrating on freestyle. I think he's got a fine young career. He's going to be a good international wrestler. He's got a lot of poise for a young guy.
2 minutes.
Very quiet, but making some more noise in international wrestling, at least in the United States. Minute and 55 seconds to go.
Just fighting for position here. Pantaleo's got to pick up the pace. He's down by 3 with 2 minutes to go. He's got to really pick up the pace. Again, they're going to caution Damare, although I don't think either one of them are doing much.
And they're going to. I think Damare saying, Joe, you're going to have to do something to get ahead in this match. I already got enough to win it. I don't need to do anything else. Kind of unusual here, Damare wearing a headgear. Although in high school and college they're required, they are not. As a matter of fact, they're frowned upon in most international contests. They seem like they're concerned that they get in the way, and you don't see many in this tournament wearing them.
Well, in international and the World Championships or the Olympic Games, you're really not allowed to wear them because I think we're the only country that has them. The other countries don't, so they don't want you ripping up their ears. Damare scores a reversal here. But I think, you know, I recommend that all the kids wear them because you don't need those cauliflower ears. Damare's probably just smart. I think a lot of guys are worried about him giving their opponent a better chance for a headlock or something like that, giving them a better hold.
Damare on that lace leg takes it over 4-2.
Once you get in this, it's really tough to stop. Every time he rolls Pantaleo through, he's going to score 1 or 2 points. He's got it.
Well, you and I both agree this is a hold that they shouldn't allow to be continuous because we've seen throughout this tournament 3-4 turns, the match is over 10-point superiority and it's done. Whereas you go into gut wrench and some other moves, you can only do one. You got to go to something else. They allow this one to go.
It doesn't seem like it's very consistent where you can do one move a bunch of times and a couple other moves they just allow you to do one. I don't really understand that philosophy myself.
35 seconds to go, and Matt Damare out of Madison, Wisconsin, well in control of this match, 6-0. And there we will see a point scored by Joe Pantaleo. He's on the scoreboard, and he can be real tough here. In college, was very, very aggressive with these leg attacks in the top position.
Well, he's tough on top, but Damare's strong. He's going to just keep good position, and I don't anticipate anything happening here. Joe, you know, Joe needed to pick up the pace earlier than he did. I guess, though, when you start out 3-0 in the first 10 seconds, it's kind of tough. Kind of throws your game plan off.
They get back to the second center, 9 seconds to go, and it appears that Matt Damare on the attack here in the waning seconds of this match will earn his second freestyle championship to add to those 2 NC2A titles he won as a collegiate. Matt Damare, your winner at 149.5 pounds. The difference in this match being that big move right at the beginning, Jim.
You see, he's got the arm roll. He steps under, gets his hips in. Pantaleo straight over the top, right to his back. That's a 3-point move. That was beautiful. That's a nice way to start a match.
And a picture-perfect move makes the difference in this match. Matt Damare, your winner. Coming up next, 1984 Olympic champion Dave Schultz returns to the mat.
I was going to retire, but they changed the rules. It looked like I wrote them, so I couldn't stop, you know.
Rusty Wallace, Kyle Pettit, and a field of NASCAR's fast cars look to slow down hard-charging Dale Earnhardt at the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Live at 1 Eastern Sunday, exclusively on TBS.
just a high-performance tire. It's a Michelin. So it does things ordinary tires just can't do. The XGT series from Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
Cole and Dave Schultz are about ready to get underway at 163 pounds. This represents a pivotal match in Rob's career. A question is asked every time a wrestler takes the mat. What will you risk? Can your spirit make your body forget the pain? And can you think and act to regain control? Rob Cole wrestles a style that invites questions.
I get myself in bad positions and I end up having to scramble my way out of it. I never have had the best position in the world, and because of that I've let guys get an advantage on me, and that's something I've been working on the last couple of years, and staying in a better stance and not letting the guy in on me so easily.
The rewards from wrestling are not always obvious, so the question is asked, why continue?
Boy, I tell you what, you know, I asked myself that question so many times, and there are very few sports like wrestling that have that are unique in that it is all you. I think that is probably why I do it, because when I go out there, it's all me. I feel special, and when I win that match, you know, it's not the 9 other guys on the field. You know, it's me, and if I lose that match, of course, I have nobody to blame. And you know, I really need that feeling of accomplishment.
Finally, as Rob's success grows, with each step up the ladder, the question is asked, is he America's next great at 163 pounds?
You know, Rob is very talented. He's getting a lot of experience under his belt. And I think that he has the ability, you know, to do well and be a world champion. But the rest is up to him. You know, but I hope that he can.
And back in action at 163 pounds, this man, Olympic champion in 1984, Dave Schultz. Great coach right now for Foxcatcher, considered one of the greatest technicians in the world in the sport of wrestling. We thought maybe he was done, but he's back at it. We asked him earlier what he thought about this match with Cole.
Yeah, he's good in the scramble. So when I get in, I want to just make sure I keep him moving and finish. My holds clean. Don't get. If I get in and I start getting lazy and stuff, he can burn me. You know, if I sit and hang and stuff, he can burn. He can burn anybody if you hang. So I'm going to plan on attacking and finishing hard.
First 3 points on the ball, Schultz.
163 pounds, the old and the young. Dave Schultz in the blue singlet, Rob Cole in the red singlet. One wrestler, Rob Cole, trying to be the rising star, get in, be one of the great 163-pound wrestlers we've had. Wayne Wells, Lee Kemp, Stan Desick, Kenny Monday. Dave Schultz coming back. The rules now in his favor, at least he thinks so.
Dave's got off to a nice start here with that arm throw. He's really dangerous with that. But Dave is really tough on top. I think that's one of the reasons Dave likes these new rules and why he decided to come back out of retirement. It's going to be a tough situation now for Cole being down 3-0. He's going to have to get aggressive, and Dave's got one of the best defenses I've ever seen in international wrestling.
More of a clash of styles here too, Jimmy, because a very unorthodox style by Rob Cole. Although Schultz has a lot of flashy moves, he's fairly basic. He can get pretty fancy on you at times, but I think that basic approach is going to make it very tough. Cole's going to have to risk something here, I think, to get back in and make a difference. I guess it's going to come down to how important it is for him to really make his mark right now.
Well, and that's right, Russ. And getting off down 3 points, Rob is really a counter wrestler. And that's why he's so exciting to watch, because he gets into a lot of bad positions. He gives up position, and he scrambles out of them, and he comes out on top a lot of times when he really shouldn't. But with Dave is in control now. Now it's Dave's turn to counter. He's going to stay solid. He's trying to work a front headlock here. He'll want to just go around behind and take the one. You can see Cole's got a hold of his arms and won't let him out. Dave takes it over the top of 2.
Oh my, he may be in trouble here.
He is in trouble. That's Dave's favorite pinhold. He's pinned everybody in this tournament thus far. Dave calls that the fisherman. He just reels them in. He's got the headlock. It's called a reverse front headlock. Rob Cole is in deep trouble.
Well, 2.5 minutes to fight off that position. Momentary count. If both shoulders go down, they're going to call a fall.
There it is.
Now their lead was 6-0, but it's over. It's a mute point right now. And Dave Schultz, 6-time world medalist, world and Olympic champion for the United States, shows the experience that really has made the difference for him of late. And I guess we can say coming back was not a mistake for David Schultz. Rob Coe, a little disappointed and dejected, but there's still a lot of future there for him to make his mark. But Dave Schultz does in workman form, takes control, ends up in the fall. And here we're going to see the move that really got this back position started. Pulled him over the top.
He pulled him over the top and switched right around to the reverse front headlock. It was a beautiful move. His 5th straight pin in this national championship. Dave, you had a great tournament, just exactly what you wanted. Could you explain this technique that you used against Rob in the finals? I knew Rob was going to be tough for you, but you had something planned for him special?
No, that's just a move yeah, that one. You know, I've done it. Rob's a good friend of mine. I've done it to him in practice, so I thought he was baiting me, you know.
It looked like you pulled it down first and then set it up and then took it to the back.
Well, what it is, it's a weird front headlock. You take them straight back over their legs rather than trying to spin sideways. Mark used to do it to me all the time, but he never told me what he was doing. That's my brother.
Yeah, right. When you got him on his back, that's one of your favorite pinning combinations. So you knew you had him then?
Yeah, you taught me that. What are you talking about? Yeah, no, I knew I wanted to have him. I knew I didn't want to let him go, you know.
Dave, congratulations on a great tournament, 163.
All right, see you tonight.
Coming up, 2-time Olympic champion Bruce Baumgartner.
July 24, the pursuit of Olympic gold begins for 3,000 of America's best athletes. Live from San Antonio, the 1993 U.S. Olympic Festival begins July 24th on TNT.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
You certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Okay, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That dog is moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
And ready to get underway. 5-minute match, 3 officials on every match. The super heavyweights. Olympic champion, world champion, Goodwill Games champion, Bruce Baumgartner, and the young upstart here perhaps wondering, what is he doing on the mat?
Well, he hadn't made it this far in the past. Tom Erickson, he pulled a big upset, and Tom was in the finals the last 3 or 4 years against Bruce, and Joel had a great match with him in the semifinals, and here gets his shot at Bruce.
You know, after Bruce won the record third Olympic medal, the gold one last year in Barcelona, you really start to wonder how long he is going to continue wrestling. He's got to enjoy it. It's got to be fun in some regard for him, but he has competed for so long, you'd think he'd like to change his lifestyle a little bit. I
don't know. I really think he likes to wrestle. He likes to train. It's just fun for him, and I think that's why he continues to do it.
And at the 4:10 mark, 50 seconds elapsed, they will put Greenlee down in the parterre position, and Bruce Baumgartner will try to lock up that gut wrench. He's very good in this top position, and we see immediately converted for 2 points. Greenlee trying to control the leg.
In the past, Bruce would have taken that all the way through just for the 2, but he's gotten now with this 5 count, where if you hold him on his back for 5 seconds, you get an extra point. Bruce has kind of been tilting them up and then trying to hold them up there for 5 seconds and get that extra point, and also get the opportunity to use his gut wrench again.
When someone has been established in a weight class for so long, you wonder if it really impacts on the other wrestlers who might have an opportunity to wrestle internationally for the team. Does it really keep somebody from getting motivated to get in there and make the difference?
Well, I know that these guys have gotten a lot of international competition. Erickson's been to the World Cup twice and gone to Soviet Union, or the former Soviet Union, been to Russia and different places. And so they get some international competition, but I know after a while it might get frustrating that you can't beat this guy. He's been such a fixture. He's won 10, 11 straight national championships. And I don't know how you could get motivated. It's just you'd have to be a rare individual to be able to overcome that, to think, well, when's he going to quit, or when am I going to finally be able to beat him?
2-0 with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go. That gut wrench in the parterre position by Bruce Baumgartner, the only point scored. Baumgartner, renowned for his double shot, but really not utilizing it here.
Now he knows he's got a 2-0 lead. Joel's going to have to make some attempts, maybe get out of position. And Bruce can take it. Again, they cautioned Greenlee. He's going to be down again. The gut wrench is open. You can use it again.
And there we see it again. Now trying to hold it to get that extra point. We have to get a 5 count by the official, and he did not hold it that long, so 2 points will go on the board. 4-0 right now for Bruce Baumgartner. Trying to get that leg lace. He's also very good with this.
He's going to try and hip in here. Oh, he's got it crossed. That's a nasty hold right there. Greenlee reaches back and grabs Bruce's legs and ties him up.
So the stalemate position will bring them back to their feet. 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Baumgartner wrestled in college at Indiana State, where he was a 1982 NC2A champion.
Don't believe Bruce ever placed in the high school state tournament. Out of New Jersey. Had most of his success late in college and then after college.
A lot of college recruiters second-guessing themselves on that one.
I guess.
I was one of them. Joel Greenlee trying to utilize that underhook position to establish some sort of an attack position, but really not having much success. Right now, the official cautioning Baumgartner for blocking with his elbow, but not resulting in an official passivity call. Now calling for a block against Greenlee. Baumgartner in on a double, rotates, changes direction, and that will be 1 point.
Referee's signaling, the ref's signaling out of bounds. I don't know if you're going to get a point from the other. You know, the thing I think that really Bruce stands out about, because he's got pretty good technique for a heavyweight, but his work ethic. Bruce in the Olympic training camps and the world training camps is always one of the hardest workers. He's always one of the last guys to leave practice. He's doing extra things. He's running. I mean, you know, the guy weighs 275, 80 pounds, and he does his road work. He does jumping rope, and he lifts a lot of weights religiously. And just for a big man like that, he works as hard as anyone I've ever seen.
Well, no point was awarded for that takedown on the edge. 2 of the 3 officials needed to agree, and they didn't. So it's still 4-0. 55 seconds to go. Bruce Baumgartner ahead. We're going to get another passivity call. There used to be a time when 3 of those would have disqualified you. Now you can have an endless number of them. Just give the other wrestler an opportunity to turn you on top again.
Now, they don't want the officials to throw someone out of the match. They want the match to continue. They want them the wrestlers to decide and not have the officials. I mean, we had a few years ago where half of the matches in Greco-Roman where someone was disqualified. Again, you see the tilt.
2 more points go on the scoreboard for Bruce Baumgartner. Now takes his lead to 6-0. 33 seconds to go.
And trying to escape. Bruce going down cross ankle again, trying to. He's gotten pretty good at that cross ankle.
24 seconds to go. They come back to their feet. Maximum limit 286 pounds. College and international, of course, putting a limit on that heavyweight division a number of years back. Sometimes I think not necessarily right for wrestling. Always had an opportunity for any man to score, have an opportunity to compete no matter what his size, and took away the position for those real hefty heavyweights. A point on the board there for that scoot around by Joel Greenlee. 6-1 right now as time runs out. And Bruce Baumgartner will win his 11th straight National Freestyle Championship. That is, of course, a record for the USA. This man setting a lot of records as he continues to dominate at 32 years of age for the United States in international wrestling. Very good on his feet, also very good on top. He's established real abilities in a lot of areas, and here we see one of the tilts.
Well, he scored all of his points from this position and this technique. He takes the gut, he locks around the waist, rolls him up, exposes his back. All you have to do is break 90 degrees and get that exposure, and that's 2 points. You see the same technique again. Greenlee was put down from a caution. Bruce is going to take it the other way, drives it straight. Normally in the past, he would try and take it straight through. You see him lifting his leg, trying to hold him there for a 5 count and get an extra point. Bruce, 11 straight national championships. It's got an American record. What is that? Is this one more than the others, or what?
Oh, they're all just the same. You know, I come here to win. You know, I think Joel had a good tournament. He wrestled me pretty tough. I was pleased with the way I wrestled. I did enough to win. New rules helped me out a little bit in the old, you know, part-tier position.
How's your training going at this stage, you know, in preparation for the trials and the World Championships this year?
I'm not right where I want to be. I mean, I'm training hard, but my intensity, I need to pick it up a little bit. My motion on my feet a little bit more. I'm standing a little bit too still. You know, I had a nice shot there out of bounds against Joel and was pleased with that, but, you know, at the end, I just went for that last takedown and he got it, and it's, you know, that's the way it goes.
Fun, always Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to the Las Vegas Convention Center, and the 1993 U.S. Freestyle Nationals is over. They're literally tearing down the mats as we speak, but we wanted to share some of the results of 4 matches we did not have an opportunity to cover. At 105.5 pounds, Rob Eider with a victory over Tim Vanny.
Longtime workout partner. You see Rob on top here. He's got the arm trapped. He's going to take and roll through for 2 points. Just one of the many points he scored, finally beating Tim Vanny in the National Championship Finals. Next, Kevin Jackson, again winning the National Championship, last year's Olympic champion, and a 1-0 victory over former teammate from Iowa State, Mike Van Arsdale. And at 198 pounds, we see Melvin Douglas defeating Chris Campbell, last year's bronze medalist, moving up a weight class and having success there. A great victory for Melvin tonight. And finally, Kurt Trost winning his first national championship in 4 tries. We see him here. He's got a gut wrench. He's going to take it over to the right, scoring 2 points. Very successful night. Great job.
I guess summing up, Jimmy, the overall competition, the Brands boys emerging.
Well, I think there are really bright spots here. Just a year out of college, they're both in the finals at 125 and 136. Terry came up a little bit short, but Tom came in and beat John Fisher, who was really pressing John Smith last year. I think he's going to do really well internationally.
And Zeke Jones still looking very, very good.
Zeke's just really continued to develop. He's just dominated the weight class here, and he's just really become one of the better and most exciting wrestlers on the U.S. team.
Well, that's it here from the U.S. Freestyle Nationals. I'm Russ Erickson for Jim Humphrey.
Thanks, Russ. How about Bruce Baumgartner battling it out for yet another national title? Well, that's much like 4,000 athletes in 37 different sports. They'll be battling it out here in San Antonio, Texas for next week's 1993 U.S. Olympic Festival. Our coverage begins next Saturday on TNT, July 24th at 4 p.m. Eastern. We hope you'll join us. Until next time, I'm Nicole Watson in the Alamo City of San Antonio, Texas, saying goodnight from all of us here on U.S. Olympic Gold.